Hey, it's Friday. That means we form check. Let's do it. Hey guys, welcome back to another Form Check Friday. I'm Paul. Thank you as always for joining me. We've got a lot of good form checks to go through today. A little bit of news before we get started, just some things to update you on. If you didn't see it, I put up a new video. It's down here. 6 tips to master the mental game of strength training. I have you guys to thank for this one. There are little bits of advice I drop into these form checks about getting your head right under the bar. And so I condensed it all into a short 10-minute video where I just break down my top 6. A lot of the stuff you've already heard, but if you want to check it out, that's up. It went up earlier this week. What else? I have my new training experiment, which is becoming less of an experiment. This video right down here. And it's a very minimalist training program. I've talked about it before. I put up a template if you want to download it a couple weeks ago. I have since tweaked it a little bit as these things go, going into the gym and trying it, seeing what works, seeing what needs to be changed. Again, seeing how little I can get away with. So I've made some changes to it, but the basic template is available there's a link in the description to that video. It'll take you to this page and you can download the template for free if you want. I have decided to make a paperback version of Radically Simple Muscle. I've gotten a lot of requests for that, surprisingly. So Radically Simple Muscle is on my website. If you guys haven't read it, it's like my hypertrophy program. I put it out as an ebook, but a lot of you want a paperback. So I thought I would do that. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, the formatting and then printing and getting proof copies and adjusting all the text, but whatever, like it'll be good to do it. And to make it an update of version 2, I'm going to put in the Radically Simple Essentials template in the end with the tweaks I've made. I've been surprised at how well it's going. Like at first I thought this is not enough work and my workouts were like 30 minutes. I cut even more sets. So in a lot of the exercises, I'm just doing one set and it's actually working pretty well. The numbers keep going up and I'm looking in the mirror and like, my shoulders are filling out a little bit, it seems. And I don't know. So I'm going to keep running it, keep tweaking it. And by the time I'm ready to publish the paperback version of Radically Simple Muscle, it'll be in there. It'll be like a version 2 or second edition or something like that. And I'll go through the book again and see if I need to update anything. But that's news on books and templates and stuff like that. If you guys have questions about that template, by the way, feel free to post them on Reddit. I'm happy to answer what I've been doing, the tweaks I've made, stuff like that. It's basically just been cutting more stuff out because I just want to see what I can get away with. And the lower body lifts, I'm a little, I don't know. I don't know that it's going to work that well because I'm doing one heavy set and then the next week I just do one lighter set on light day. And so far I've gotten extra reps for the past couple weeks, and then I think I bumped up the weight on my deadlift. So it's working. The assistance exercises is what I was really interested in. You know, can I just focus on driving up the intensity? Like if I do a set of like LTEs and I just shoot for 10 reps and I know I'm not going to do a back off set, is it going to make me try harder to get all 10 reps? And how long can I run that for? So it's been good. And it's also good because my shoulder was pissing me off and these workouts are really short. They're infrequent. There's not a lot of volume. So I'm feeling good. And I feel like my physique kind of looks decent or maybe a little better. Could be because the other thing I wanted to mention, which is we've started a casual fat loss challenge on the HORNSTRENGTH Reddit. Put up a big post called the Fall Fat Loss Challenge. It started officially on Monday. And basically we have about 12 weeks between now and the week of Christmas. And I thought, I'm feeling a little fluffy. I want to lose 10 pounds and it'd be cool to do it together. So I just put up a thread that you can check out. There's a ton of, I made it too long, but there's a lot of stuff about adjusting your meal plan and having cheat meals and how to set up the diet. And then I put up on Monday our first check-in, which was sort of a starting point. So everybody went through, put their, how much they weigh, how much they want to weigh, so how much they're going to lose, their goal, and then whatever other information they wanted to add. And like, I've been blown away by the number of responses, because I put up the first post, this one, and no one said anything. And then I put up, and I was like, no one is going to participate in this. It's just going to be me, telling you guys about trying to lose weight. But day of, you guys came through, and I think we have 11 or 12 people in the thing, which is awesome. And so I went and made a little spreadsheet so we could track everybody's progress over the next basically 11 weeks. And we'll see, if group accountability works and if you guys like it. And, but I'm looking forward to it. So our next check-in, our first official, how much weight did you lose over the last 7 days check-in is Monday. Every Monday, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. You're just going to post, name and then how your week went. Did you lose weight or not? And we'll just keep track of it. And hopefully it'll keep us, a little more accountable and a little more disciplined. It has for me, because I'm leading this thing. So I got to lead by example. So far this week, I've been pretty good. My weight's been going down, and was up this morning, but not by much. And I think it's because I had a lot of carbs for dinner last night. But so check-ins are every Monday. There's still time to jump in if you want. You can go into the first thread. I'll get a notification and I'll put you on the table, and you can participate with us if you want to. And if you just want to follow along and cheer everybody on, that'd be great. Okay. We did that Fall Fat Loss Challenge videos, everything I wanted to talk about, I think. Yes. All right. So let's get into your form checks. And as you guys know, I haven't seen any of these, so we're going to do it together. I think we got a bunch of repeat people and a couple new people. So let's see what we can do, and let's see if we can do it in under an hour. That's my goal, because these videos take so long to render and compress when they're over an hour. So, okay, Kyriakos. So we saw Kyriakos for the first time last week. He's got 2 videos. All right, we'll see. You're the first guy, so I'm going to do them. And what do we got? Light squat, working on fixing the upper back. Yes, you were dumping your elbows. Bar was rolling up your back, losing upper back extension, very common. So working to fix the upper back, rounding on the up motion. There's 2 sets in that video, 60 kilos by 5, 3-second pause. I actually use a metronome to make sure the length. Okay, all right. And 120 without a pause. I don't know if it's any better. I'm certainly very aware of my upper back currently. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Your form was overall pretty good. It was just, we just had the upper back stuff. So one of the things right away, if I can just stop you real quick, is you see how your wrist here, it's actually on both hands, is sitting on the bar. It's almost like this. I'm exaggerating, but your hand is on top of the bar, and that's not what we want, right? And that having the bar up here your hand up here makes it really easy to roll it higher. What you want is a little bit, we want straight wrists. And what I've been advocating more and more as I've matured in my coaching practice is I have almost all of my guys use a thumbs around grip. So I'm done with this thumbs on top grip. And the main reason is it has a very high likelihood of giving someone tendonitis. And I have a video on tendonitis. I explain why. I'm not going to do it here, but the thumbs around grip never causes tendonitis. In fact, that's the grip we switch to get rid of the tendonitis. And the more and more I've been doing this, the more I just have ditched the thumbs on top grip altogether. And I understand the logic behind it. It's a sound argument, but the tendonitis thing for me just isn't worth it. And I've gotten used to the thumbs around grip. I like it and I advocate it. And in your case, so you don't have to use that grip if you're not having any, tendonitis issues or anything like that. But you do need to fix this, because part of your thing is wanting to get your upper back tight, right? And if your elbow's high and your wrist is like this, it's pushing you down while you're trying to arch up. So at the very least, that grip should be a little bit more the other way, like a little bit more flexed, right? What is it? Flex extension. I always mix these up on the wrist. You want it to bend back a little bit so that the weight is kind of in your, against your forearm here and sitting back and down. And so when you set up, when you're setting your grip up, if this is the bar, you're going to put your hand on it on top like this, and then you turn it like that and put your fingers on so that you don't have this angle, but you don't want to be here. I want you to kind of come back this way a little bit. We want straight, but in your case, you might want to overcorrect and just let it pull back a tiny bit and that's going to allow you to bring your elbows down a little bit and arch up more. Okay. Rather than here, we want to be here. Okay. So right off the bat, since this is your struggle, hey buddy, oh, you brought me your ball. Okay. There's Clint. Say hi. He made an appearance. I'm not, we can't do this right now. No, we're form checking. Okay. All right. I'll do one. All right. Now he's never going to leave me alone. Okay. So wrists a little bit relaxed, I guess we'll say, flexed. And that's the first thing that's going to help you with this. So right off the bat, you got to fix that. Okay. Oh, great. Now I can hear his ball squeaking. I'm going to have to get that. Okay. So let's watch your set here. Let me go back and start it over. Okay. Great bottom position. Now, watch your low back here. Watch your low back when you start to squat. You see how... See if I can slow it down. Okay. If you keep your eye right here, see, you have a natural sort of... Your back is... When you're just standing straight up, your back looks great. Okay? So you don't need to actively try and contract your lumbar spine even more and extend your pelvis. So watch that. You'll see you're overextending your low back. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Catching up here. So ready? There. See that? It's good in the bottom. But every rep you do, the first thing that happens is you actively overextend your low back. And you don't need to do that. This is a thing that so we have to tell a lot of men to do that because they naturally won't. They're not good at sticking their butts out, right? Every once in a while we get a guy, this is especially the case in the deadlift, which we'll see in a second, but every once in a while we get a guy who's real flexible in his low back, but he still thinks that he should be actively trying to arch his lumbar spine and extend it. And what we're looking for is like a neutral position. That's what we want. We don't want it overextended because you're actually more likely to hurt your back in an overextended position than a flexed position. Your spine is designed to operate in flexion, right? That's how we got here. You've got to pick up boulders and logs and animal carcasses and stuff. So if you look at the anatomy of the spine, it's meant to flex. It's not really meant to overextend much. And so I don't need you to try to overextend it more than sort of neutral, more than the position that you naturally sort of assume. So a lot of people, we have to cue that. In your case, I don't want you to think about that at all. So as you go down, you're gonna, oh, this is a heavier set. So let's get rid of this little thing. If you watch your low back, as you start, you're gonna see it arch. See, okay, so the weight's heavier. When the weight's heavier, it kind of cleans up. But if we go back here, see that right there? All I want you to do from this position, you're here, your back is perfect. So you just have to lean over, okay? So just take a big breath, arch your upper back, and then just lean over. You don't have to stick your ass out on the way down, okay? Because again, we just want that sort of neutral, and I also don't want it wiggling around while you're moving. So all you have to do from here is take a big breath and like squeeze, create tension, squeeze your abs real tight, and then just hinge over at the waist, okay? Now let me see what you're doing with your upper back when you take that breath. So yeah, you're kind of just, this also may be a little high on your back. I think that bar's too high on your back. Yeah. You see how it's up here? It's like up on top of your traps. It's not a high bar, but it's kind of in the middle. So I want that bar, this is why you can do this, right? Because you got the bar too high on your back. So all of this is gonna get fixed when you put the bar in the right position. So you got the bar like up here, and I want it, let me lower this. I want it like down here, which isn't much. You probably can't see that on this tiny video, but you got to move the bar down a little bit. It's too high up, okay? And that having it that high is also going to make it harder to arch up because it's pushing you down. So let's fix that. Get the bar down about an inch lower on your back. Make sure the wrists aren't on top, that they're straight or slightly flexed. And then get that chin tucked a little more. You can move your eyes down like right here. Okay, so you're still kind of back like this, like it's like this angle here is like this. Oh, where's my thing? It's like this. And I want it, so just move your head down so that this is a straight line here. We get rid of this little kink, okay? That's like low priority because it's not really moving. You're doing great there. Pause is good, hip drive's good. Let's see the heavier set. And I'll recap this for you because you're my first guy. I'm not warmed up yet, so I'm kind of blabbering. Oh, this is the one where you're just working. No pause. All right, so that breath you're taking, right? When the breath is supposed to be, and I should see your chest lift, you're just doing this. You're going, and you're just kind of wiggling your arms around, which isn't, if you watch your, see that? You just kind of flick your arms. Watch your before you go down on the next one. You take a breath, but you don't, if we watch your chest here, if I'm looking at this part right here, okay, I want to see it lift up like that. And it's not going to move. Yeah, you went like this. But this didn't do this. Okay, now it's already kind of up, so, but I want to see you try, because I want you to routinely get in the habit of trying to retighten that, even if it's already up. It should be not just flicking your elbows like that. And your head is lifting, so now your chin's lifting. Like on that last heavy one, when you need your chin pointed down, look at it. You're looking like here. Okay, now we got a big angle there. So this needs to come down. So just keep your eyes right here. Okay, head down. Just look at the floor. Don't look at the wall. And again, you're doing that because the bar's too high on your back. Your hands are up on top of the bar, and so it's rolling up. So you naturally, like unconsciously have to kick your head back to stop it from rolling up even more. Okay, so let's recap what you need to fix. Get the bar lower on your back. Okay, get it over the posterior deltoids down here. With wrists slightly bent back, very slightly. Okay, very slightly. And then that'll fix a lot of this. And it'll allow you to get that chest up even more. And then just take your breath, squeeze your abs real tight, or just take your breath and just squeeze everything you can squeeze. Don't worry about like abs specifically. Just take a breath and bear down on it. And once you're there, just lean over. Don't worry about trying to extend your low back. It's already good, and overextending it is just going to make it more likely that because it's overextended, it's going to go into its normal position on the way down, and that movement under load could fatigue your low back a lot while it's moving, while those spinal erectors are moving under load, and B, you could get hurt that way, but who knows? Okay. So those are the main things, and address that and then post another video with those corrections, and make sure you keep that chin tucked. But I think if you just get the bar in the right place and fix your grip, a lot of these things are just going to correct themselves automatically. Okay, so give that a shot, post another video, and we'll keep going on this one. Let's take a look at your deadlift since we're here. Deads from the same day. I've been historically struggling to set my back in extension on the setup. I doubt it, because you're flexible. You're a bendy dude. And over the years, I've had help from other coaches. I came to the conclusion I should pull beltless and shoeless. Okay, well, I've only had like 3 guys in my career pull shoeless, and it was only because they could not sit back on their heels. They were always on their toes when they pulled, and just taking that heel off made it easier for them to get their weight back and stop the bar from swinging. Aside from that, I always have my guys pull in shoes. But let's take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. It happens. And we're going to watch you do the whole strap thing. Let's fast forward this a little bit. Okay. Okay. Your pull's good. Like, you have a decent pull. But your problem is pretty simple. Just watch a couple, make sure I get everything before I start talking. Okay. This is the challenge with online coaching, is that I could fix this in 10 seconds if I was standing right behind you. And I'll tell you what I would do, and maybe you can have your friend do it. You don't have a problem setting your back. You're not setting it enough, but you can. And I know that because I saw how you squat. So you have control of your lumbar spine. You just don't know. Oh, my mic's like popping into the frame. You just don't know how to set it enough, and you don't know how to hold it, which is really important. So that thing that you're doing on your other one, right, on your squat, I know you have control of your lumbar spine, and I know you're flexible enough to do it because it's real bendy. Like, most guys aren't like that. So here you go, and I'm going to pause it when you go down. See that right there? That's too much, by the way, for the squat. Okay, but look at this. Look at that arch right there. Okay. This is what I want you to do for the deadlift. I want you to think about this and whatever you think about to make this happen on the squat, which I told you not to do on the squat, but I want you to do it on the deadlift. So look at your back like that, and just imagine in your head what it feels like what you're thinking about when you make that happen. And then do that on your deadlift. So when you do this, when you get ready to pull and your hips are great, but this part right here, where you go from rounded, right? What I want this to end up looking like, as you know, is what I just showed you on your squat, which is like this nice arch. Okay. And you do it a little bit. See that? So that's and again, this has a lot to do with your chest, right? Because look at your upper back here. Now, it's okay if your upper back is rounded in the deadlift. It's a whole topic of discussion on the internet. And we want this lumbar spine to be in extension. This doesn't matter that much. And in fact, a lot of elite deadlifters intentionally do that. Brings their hips closer to the bar. It's mechanically advantageous to do that. But you're not an elite lifter, neither am I. So for this, we want to use your chest, this squeezing the chest up motion. Same thing I'm talking about in the squat, right? Where you're doing that. It's the same thing here. Okay, so when you take that breath and you're rounded and then you go, you're not doing this part. Okay, the same way you were just kind of flicking your arms when you're trying to do it in the squat and not actually lifting your chest. You're doing the same thing here. You're doing most of it right, but this part isn't working. Like this isn't lifting. And because we're trying to set this wave of extension that goes from the chest all the way down, but really what we care about is this lumbar spine right here. But when you're learning how to control this area, you got to think about the whole back. And if you point your nipples up like this, that wave will come down here and extend the low back. Okay? So this isn't bad. Like it's rounded, but I know you can get it flatter than that because I saw it in the squat. I know you're capable of creating more of an arch. You're just not doing it because you don't know what it feels like. So the thing that I would do that would fix this immediately if I was with you is I would walk up behind you and I would put my knee right here under your butt so you couldn't drop your ass any lower. And then one hand, I would grab your shoulder right here and I'd put my other hand right here on your low back. So my knee's here, one hand's here, and one hand is right on your low back, okay? And I'm gonna pull it. And so again, my knee is blocking your butt from dropping, okay? Because it's just gonna hit my knee. So I'm keeping your butt there. I've got my hand on your shoulder, and at the same time, I'm gonna pull up on your shoulder and push down on your lumbar spine. Okay, I'm gonna tell you to relax because you're gonna fight me when I do it. Everybody fights me, and I just tell them to relax, and all of a sudden I feel one hand come up and the other hand go down. And I hold that and tell them, this is what it feels like. This is what I want. And you'll feel that you got what you didn't think you could get that range of motion, right? Especially when you're fighting it. But then when you relax and let me do it, you'll feel the fully extended position, okay? And once you feel it, then you got it. Then you just have to, notice the sensation in your body and then make that happen every rep. And if you don't feel that sensation, keep arching. Okay? So maybe you have a friend or something that can help you try that, or maybe you just do it, which is you got everything right here. You just have to, from here, when you set your back, take a breath. And when you pull up on the bar like you're doing beautifully, you're going to use the resistance of the bar to help you pop your chest up through your arms here. So you're here, there, right? It's all up here, and that wave goes down to here, goes down to your lumbar spine. So that's your problem. That's problem A, which is you're not getting it fully set, even though you can. So again, chest arches up and you're good. Don't drop your hips. Leave everything where it is, but use the weight of the bar in your hands. And the fact that you're pushing the bar through, you can't push the bar through your shins. This is another exercise I use a lot. And I think I have a video of it. Well, I can just demo it for you. What the hell, I'll stand up and do it. You can feel this by, all right, I'm in this bubble, so bear with me. So you get in your deadlift stance, right? And you put your hands just below your kneecaps, okay? With straight arms, locked elbows. And then you're not gonna drop your butt. You're gonna push against your shins, okay? And you're gonna use the resistance pushing against your shins to pop your chest up. So you're rounded like this, and you take a breath and you push this way, and this goes up like this. Okay, and then you relax, and then you do it again. Breathe, push, right? And you can see my upper back going from round to arched. Okay, round, thanks Clint, to arched. Okay, but I'm using the resistance that I'm getting from pushing against my shins to help me squeeze up here. And then all you got to do, once you feel that, all you got to do is move the only difference when you're holding the bar is that instead of pushing your hands into your shins, you push the bar into your shins. But the resistance is the same, right? You can't push the bar through you. So you can use that same resistance to feel that sensation. Okay? Practice that. And just internalize that, what it feels like to get fully extended. And, look in the mirror or record a video or something so you can watch yourself. And then when you get it, register that feeling, okay? And then just make sure that before you pull, it feels like that. That's problem number one, is getting it set in the first place. Problem number two is holding it. Once you extend it, once you feel it arch like that, don't stop thinking about it. As you pick the bar up off the ground, don't lose your focus on setting your back. So what I tell people is set your back and keep setting it the entire rep. Because a lot of people will do this beautiful arch, and then as soon as they switch to thinking about actually picking the weight up off the ground, they just forget and their back goes soft. And that's really what's happening here with you. So even the modest setting that you are doing, as soon as you go to pull, you'll see your back, it's kind of set here, and then it just rounds, right? And it's rounding because you didn't fully set it in the first place. You kind of set it. So it's those spinal erectors aren't fully contracted. And so it's easy for them to come out. But if you lock it and then you don't stop trying to set it all the way up, you're gonna be good to go, okay? So work on those drills, practice that, and then post another video and we'll make sure that we got it dialed in. But those are the things you wanna work on. I gotta move on. It's been over a half hour now with one dude. But I hope it helps, and do those drills and we'll keep going, man. All right, we'll see you soon. Thanks for posting, and good luck. We will move on. Okay, doctor. Hey, Paul, my homework was to lean over all the way before reaching the bottom, okay, instead of waiting to reach the final back angle on the way up. Yes, it was taking you the entire way down and then almost back up to finally set your back angle. You asked to see pause squats and normal squats to give me feedback. I also experienced elbow tendonitis in my left arm for the first time, which was not fun. Can you share the pros and cons of the thumbs around grip and whether I think I should work on something else before trying that? I don't like cheating my form, but I feel like it could lead to other issues. Okay, so if you watched the previous form check, we just talked about this. The thumbs around grip is not cheating. This is one of the things that I have changed my mind on since I started coaching. I followed the, thumbs on top, always grip. I coached it. I advocated for it. I understand the argument. But it just has such a high likelihood of leading to tendonitis. I've seen it so many times in my lifters, and then switching to the thumbs around grip makes it go away. So I only squat now with a thumbs around grip. I prefer, and then the moment any client tells me that they're feeling it in their elbows, it's the first thing you should do is switch to the thumbs around grip. All the other interventions for tendonitis are more complicated, but just switching to the thumbs around grip makes it go away 60 to 70% of the time. Okay, maybe more than that. So definitely, if that the first hint of tendonitis, thumbs around grip is like first line of defense before we do anything else. So it's not cheating, and I think you'll prefer it in the long run. Okay, so let's take a look at your pause squats. And you have kind of the same issue that I was just talking about with the other guy, which is that you have your thumbs almost on top of the bar like this. I mean, your wrists are like bent on top. Okay, hang on a sec. Hey, can you, all right, out. Come on. Go. Come on. Sorry. It's being like super annoying today. Okay. We gotta get my phone. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so you can't see it on this hand, but you can see it on your other hand. This wrist over here is kind of like this, and this is exactly what the other guy had. And so because of that, this contributes to dumping the bar up on your neck, right? Because your hands are like this. The bar's not sitting down low with your chest up. You're kind of up here. You've got it up on your shoulders a little bit, probably too high, and then the hand on top. So it's very easy from this position to have it push you down, right? Because you can roll your elbow up really easily with the grip like that. Instead, if you're gonna use the thumbs on top grip, at least have your wrists flexed like a little bit, or extended. I think I got it wrong on the other one. Yeah, bent back like this. Okay, so straight, but maybe a little bit back. Definitely not like this, especially someone with your set of issues, which is rounding the upper back and dumping the bar up on your neck. And dumping the elbows up high like that. So I think in your case, okay, pauses look good. Yeah, this is still, your upper back's still round, and I'm glad that Kyriakos posted his form check before yours, because despite your best efforts to arch with that grip, it's like impossible. And I should have caught this earlier. See how rounded you are down here? Again, we talked about this before. This is rounded despite you trying to arch it at the top. Look at your elbows. They're almost pointed up. This one is. Look at that. It's like pointed up that way. This should be down here like this, right? And this should be arched the other way. So this is probably why you're getting tendonitis. So one of the questions in the 3 steps, or the 3 questions you ask yourself at the bottom of the squat is, are my knees out? Is my weight balanced? And is my upper back arched and tight? And if it's not, you have to arch it and then you come up. And you're not doing that. And you can't, there's no way you're gonna be able to arch your upper back with 135 on the bar and your elbows jacked up this high. Okay? Like, it's just not possible, because that weight is keeping you rounded. So overall, like, the rest of the pause is okay, but we got to fix this top part. So let me check the bar position on your back. Just make sure. Do you take it out? But see the elbows here? Like, again, they're down here like this, and we want that arched up. That's what I want at the bottom, just kind of leaned over. So when you're down here like this, your elbows are still going to be angled down. They shouldn't be angled up like that. All right, so I'll tell you what to do, and then we'll put this to bed, because you're gonna, yeah, this is your problem. This elbow position right here is rounding. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to switch to the thumbs around grip, and I told the other guy last time, I don't know if you watched the Dick's he's working. The last form check today is going to be me yelling at Dick for giving up on the thumbs around grip, I assume. But thumbs around grip. Okay. The wrists will be bent. Do not try and keep them straight. Let them sit, let your wrist bend, and let the bar like sit little, let some of the weight get taken up in your wrist. It's uncomfortable. You have to give it 3 sessions. It's going to feel like hell the first 2 sessions. The first session is going to feel like your wrists are going to explode. Okay. Stick with it for 3 sessions. Give me 3 sessions and spend some time playing around with the position. You may be able to get your grip in a little closer since the wrists are bent. But you're here like this. We want this. Okay. So it's going to allow you to get that arched even more and keep those elbows down if you take that grip. And that's going to solve a lot of the other issues that we've been dealing with here, especially at the bottom. I mean, we've done a lot with your form overall, but we still this is like the last piece of the puzzle. So give it 3 sessions, play around with the grip. The goal is that most of the weight is being taken up by your traps, right? Sitting on your posterior deltoids and your back. And a little bit of it is in your hands. When you're like this, you got none of the weight in your hands. So with the wrist bent, you're going to have a little bit of the weight in your hands, but you want most of it on your back. And you're going to have to play around with feeling that, kind of shrugging up into the bar to lift it off your scapula. And you will eventually find a very comfortable, stable position, but it's going to take you 3 workouts. And it's going to feel like your wrists are going to snap in workouts 1 and maybe 2. Okay. Stick with it. Don't give up on it. I promise you, once your wrists get used to it, this will be a better grip for you. It'll eliminate the tendonitis or the possibility of future tendonitis. It'll fix your ability to get your upper back arched and tight. It'll keep your elbows down when you're at the bottom of the squat. Okay, you need some light weight on your back. You need some weight on your back to do this. So the empty bar is going to be hit or miss. But if you put 95 on or 135 and play around with it for a little bit until you find that more comfortable position and then just stick with it, it's going to end up being the thing that we need to fix this. So that's a good one. I mean, that's a big one for you in terms of homework. Okay. Yeah. And you see the plates rolling forward. You see them spinning forward on the way down because you're dumping it. And then when you stand up, they come back, right? And then you dump it. So it's just rounding. It's rounding and standing up and rounding. And every time you see those plates spin. And it's just making it impossible for you to have that extension that we need. Okay? So I'm not so worried about all the other things with your form because it's generally good, but I want this right here, which kind of looks like your wrist kind of looks like that. I want that to do this. Okay. Almost like what I tell people, when their heads kick back like this and I want it flat. In your case, I want your wrist like you wanted to do with your head in the past. So just let them bend a little bit, right? Take the thumbs around grip and really focus on when you take that breath, right? Chest up, elbows tucked in, pinched together like this. And this is what we're fighting for at all times. So when you're at the bottom, you're still here. And we've talked about this every week, but when you're at the bottom, right? If at the top you take your breath and you're here, at the bottom you're here, you're just more leaned over. Okay. So even though I'm leaned over, I haven't lost this position. I've got it here and I've got it here. You can have it here, but at the bottom you're here. Okay. I'm exaggerating obviously, but that's the idea. Okay. This is what we're working on for you. So homework is I want to see you at the bottom of the squat, thumbs around and arched up and tight. Okay. Try it and we'll see you next week. And we're going to move on. Nick, Here's the link to my deadlift. This is my heavy top set of 3 at 310. I'm using straps because the grip is holding me back and I feel shoulder pain from a mixed grip. I'm currently working up to using a hook grip. I am working on really feeling the back extension with these reps. Thanks for the feedback. Nothing wrong with straps. I started pulling exclusively with straps a couple years ago. I got my hook grip up to like 405, couldn't get past that. And then I pulled mixed, and as I've gotten older and stopped competing, it's not worth it to me to pull mixed. I don't want to compete. And the slim chance of a biceps tendon rupture is just not worth it. So I strap on anything over, I try and pull 315 as a warm up, double overhand, and then I strap up. So nothing wrong with straps. And if you want to try the hook grip, you can. If you're going to compete, you need to. If you're not, don't feel bad about using straps. But do as many warm-ups as you can with a double overhand grip just to build up your forearm strength. And then when you have to, switch to straps. Okay, let's take a look. And I think you said something about your back extension. All right, brother. All right, we got to watch the whole thing where you fuck around with your straps. Okay, cut your videos, guys. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, decent pull, man. Like, not bad. And so just a couple minor things that are kind of hard to coach remotely, but I'll just tell you what you got to do. Yeah, your setup's good. You're nudging the bar a little bit. So if you watch, I mean, these are all very common deadlift issues, which is dropping your hips. And we'll talk about your back in a second, but it's all part of your setup. So when you do so you set up correctly, but notice where your hips are. Like, notice how high they are. Okay. So they're like, I don't know, that's the bottom of your ischial tuberosity down there. But you'll notice if we jump to the last rep, when you pull, you're going to drop your butt quite a bit. That was it. No, you didn't actually. I was wrong. You're keeping your hips in the same place. Yeah, I mean, it's lowering a little bit, but I'm not that worried about it. So really what it is it's just, this is still a little soft. And this is a tough nut to crack, man. Like, I struggled with this for a really long time of feeling how to set my back. You're pretty good. I mean, you've got some control over your spinal erectors. Like, I always want to see wrinkles in the t-shirt here, right? That tells me you're contracting those muscles. And really what we're looking for is that it doesn't round further. So once you set it, even if it's not perfectly like arched like this, even, you've got a little bit of a curve here. The important thing is that as it comes up off the ground, that curve doesn't get worse, right? It's not moving. It's still rigid. And in most cases, it's flexing a little bit. That was a lazy set. Okay, so here's the deal. You have the battle that I have. There are guys out there, unfortunately, that don't even have to think about this. They just beautifully set their back and it just stays set and they never have an issue with this. And I am one of the people who, really, really struggled to set my back and eventually learned how to do it. I still struggle to hold it, but it's just going to be this battle that you always have. Now, your best bet at having a good flat back as the bar comes off the ground is to set the hell out of it before you pick it up. So the cadence of, I talk about this all the time, is breathe, squeeze, pause, pull, right? And the pause is going to be really important for you. So when you set it down and get ready to pull your first reps, you get your balance right, you get your grip right, and now you're going to start. Now you're ready to initiate the pull. And that sequence is breathe, squeeze, pause, pull. Take a breath, squeeze your chest up, pause, and then pick the bar up off the ground. And that pause is really important for you because it gives you a chance to make sure that you have gotten everything you could get out of that attempt at arching your back before you try and pick the bar up off the ground. And if you neglect that pause, you're just gonna get whatever you get and try and pick the bar up off the ground. And in your case, you're setting kind of, and then picking the bar up off the ground. And if you half-ass that arch, it's only gonna get worse as it comes up off the ground because you didn't fully contract those muscles. You didn't get the full squeeze. And so it's a little flexed already, and then it comes up off the ground, it's gonna get worse. So that pause, that breathe, squeeze, pause, pull is your chance to be like, okay, I think I set my back. Before I go, can I set it even more? Can I set it a little harder? That's what that pause is for. Also, if you happen to nudge, if you kind of drop your butt a little bit, which you do slightly, you bump the plates forward or you bump the bar forward. In that pause, you can roll it back to your shins. You have a little bit of that. It's not a big deal. Mainly your thing is you've got the right idea. You're just not arching as much as possible. So like, that's good. But this is what's missing, is this chest position. So you can see this is kind of the upper back's a little round up here. And I'm going to tell you what I want you to go back to the video. The first form check I did in this video. It's a long one, but go to the beginning and I give this guy a drill to practice, because this is the part that's missing is you're here and your upper back's round and you need to take a breath and arch the upper back. Okay, so you're here like this and you want to be pushing that bar. You want to be using the resistance of your hands on the barbell pushed this way against your shins, right? So you're pushing the bar into your shins and you're using that resistance to help you squeeze your chest up through your arms like this and rotate it up. Now you don't drop your butt when you do that, but this right here is going to go down as this comes up, okay? So in the previous video, and that's really what's missing here, is just upper back tightness. So like I said, in the first video of this episode, or the first form check, I show this guy a drill where you put your hands down below your knees and you push against your knees to get the feeling of what it feels like to get that upper back extended. And then you move down to the bar. So go watch that. You can skim through it, but you'll see me stand up from my desk and do this little exercise, okay? And then I want you to practice that and just internalize the sensation of getting that back fully extended and holding it. Once you feel that, then you move down to the barbell and it's the same thing. You're just pushing, instead of pushing against your shins, you're pushing the bar into your shins and using that resistance to arch up, and then hold it. Hold it for a few seconds and pay attention to what it feels like when all those muscles are extended, and then you can relax and then do it again. And then when you go to deadlift, in that breathe, squeeze, pause, pulse sequence, when you pause, make sure it feels like that. Make sure that it is, your nipples are pointing to the wall and your butt's pointing up at the wall behind you. And you have that full extension and it's locked in. It's as much as you can. And then all you got to do is push with your legs. Okay. Because that's really the main issue with your deadlift, is just, it's soft. Your back is soft and if you watch the last rep here, you just kind of set and go. It's like kind of set, and then you didn't, let me see if I can pause it. So watch your set, this is the worst one, right? Because you're tired, but it's even more rounded than before. And then instead of finishing it, you just try and pick the weight up off the ground and your low back just goes, right? So the spinal erectors, like they're real good at holding once you contract them. But if you kind of contract them, then they're just gonna flex. You're just gonna, because you didn't finish it, okay? But if you lock it and then just push with your legs, they're real good at doing that. So you're gonna have to practice with lighter weight, because if you just keep going up from here, it's just gonna get worse. You're not gonna be able to fix it. But go watch that drill, practice that drill, and worry about, like, it's not just here that we have to worry about. It's here too. It's the whole thing. All right. The chest goes up like that, and this part goes down. The back goes down like this. That's a stupid drawing. Anyway, you get what I'm talking about. So overall, just slow it down in between. Put that pause in there once you feel the sensation of setting. And so set it, hold it, ask yourself, I mean, in that split second, breathe, squeeze, pause, pull. In that pause, like, am I as tight as I could be? Could I squeeze my chest up even more? And then go. And the pause isn't very long, right? It's just a check. It's a extension check, you could call it. All right. So that's your homework. Do that, and you post another video when you think you have it, when you think you've got that chest up in the bottom position. Or sorry, I'm talking about the squat. That chest up in the final position before you try and pick the bar up off the ground. Okay? Straps are fine, and that drill at the beginning that I showed the other guy will help you feel the back extension. So feel it, and then don't pull the bar up off the ground until you feel it again. Got it? All right, man. Welcome aboard. Thank you for the post. And I think this was your first one. I'm not sure. And we'll see you soon. Okay, Max. Good God, we have so many to do. Okay, Max, we're gonna go quick, guys. It's like I'm already at an hour. Wait, I didn't even read your thing. Okay, let's see. Here's this week's deadlift, shifting my weight back so that 60% is on my heels. All right, so we just had you shift your weight back a little bit. This should be easy. Yeah. Okay. Better. Rock back. Yeah, okay. This next time you shoot one of these, if you have room. Okay, improvement. Good work. Give me more of the side angle, because it's a little bit more helpful than the front. So if you can move the camera more to the side, that'd be great. Overall, I see what you're doing here. And aside from the first rep, which was a little weird, but that's okay. Your weight's real forward here. It kind of went back and then forward again. But so, yeah, that was okay. Yeah, so you're a little confused on the order, which is fine. But I will tell you what you're going to do. Or just remind you, because you got the gist of it. So you're still forward here, your weight's forward, and you're pulling the bar back to your shins, right? And then you have to do it again. There we go. Yeah, you're fishing for it, but you got it. Okay. So when you set the bar down, okay, you're going to push your hips back up in the air. So from here, or we'll just watch a rep. Push your butt back up in the air. Okay, so you're there. And if you know that you're on your toes, like if you put it down and you know that your weight's on your toes, like here, then just rock back right away. Just try and get to the middle. So the bar's down, you go, okay, I'm way leaning forward. So let me just shift my weight back to the middle of my foot. And then when you're in the middle, you push your butt up, that pulls the shins back. You roll the bar back to your shins. You rock back just a little bit. So that's when you put the rest of the weight on your heels, like that 60%, and then you go. But if you try and, if you're too far on your toes and then you push your butt up, it's just going to push you more forward. And then you're going to have to do the whole thing like twice. So let me walk you through another one. See, you're doing it again. And you're getting there. Like you could be back on your heels a little more. This is why I want the side angle next time. So here you're definitely forward. So shift your weight back. See, you're trying to push your butt up while your weight's on your toes and then pull the bar back, which isn't going to work. So you're a little too far forward when you start, which is why that was a decent one. Yeah, so I may have not been clear last time with, I know normally what I would, normally people aren't so far forward when they put the bar down. They're like kind of in the middle, maybe a little forward. So they push their butt up and they rock back and they go. In your case, you have this tendency to just have like all your weight on your toes at the bottom. So set it down and then move to find balance. Set the bar down. Set the bar down here, okay? Rock back a little bit just to find like what feels like balance off your toes, and then do what I said. So from a balanced position, push your butt up, pull the bar back, shift your weight back, and go. That's the order, okay? So set it down, find balance. Okay, now I'm gonna do my thing that Paul wants me to do. Butt up, bar back, rock back, go. Okay? And that should streamline this process so you're not fidgeting so much, and because trying to do it that far forward is going to be confusing, obviously. So good job overall. Let's try that next time. And give me the side angle because I want to see that view. All right? One more time. Bar down. Just don't worry about where the bar is. Don't worry about pulling it back. Just first thing you do when you put it down is get off your toes if you're on your toes. As you get better at this, you should be able to put the bar down and be balanced, right? That's the goal, is you set the bar down and you're perfectly balanced. But you got to break this habit. So put it down, just get your weight back, and then push your butt up, bar back, and then the last thing you do is rock back and then go. Okay? Good work, man. Let me see that side view and we'll check it out next time. All right, moving on. We got Ryan back in the game. Hey, Paul, it's been a while since I submitted a form check clip. Seemed about time. First video is grinding through a work set of 5 squats. Second is a back off set with 7 at a lighter weight. Okay. Either way, let's take a look at the heavy one. Why not? That's why we're here. All right. Dude, I thought we could be matching t-shirt buddies. I know Ryan has a t-shirt. All right. Let's see here. You're looking beefy, buddy. Like in a good way. Like your back is looking pretty jacked. I like it. Okay. All right. Let's look at the other one. And see what the lighter. I remember Ryan was always the guy who was like posting failed attempts. Okay, let's see this lighter one and see if you don't have the issues that I'm seeing. All right, you're taking a little too long to lean over. See how you're going. You're leaning over all the way down. Right? So if we look at your back angle here, like this, right? And then we go to the bottom. Now we're leaned over more. Now we're still leaning over. Okay, so it's taking you the entire rep to get into the back position that you want. So Let's decide on your back angle. That's your back angle right there. Okay, now this is still high, and it was high on the other ones, right? You need to be down here like this, so ass needs to get lower. And part of that is because you're still thinking about leaning over and not thinking about dropping your hips down, because you haven't, if you set your back angle halfway down, you don't have to think about that anymore, and you could focus on dropping your butt down. But instead, you're still playing this balance game, trying to find your back position, and then by the time you find it, it's like, oh, I better come back up. You didn't think about dropping your butt down. So you've got to get the back angle set, and we're gonna say this is your back angle here, right? Okay, and you're opening up a little early. So by this point here, you need to be as leaned over as you're ever gonna be, which means your back angle needs to look like that. So and then you're getting out of your hips too soon. So lean over faster. You see, you're fighting it. You're trying to stay too vertical on the way up. Lean the hell over. Point your nipples at the ground, shove your knees out, and drive your butt up. Yeah. Okay. That's your issue, man, is you got to get the back angle set. I'm going to go back and I'll criticize your early reps here, not the ones where you're fatigued. Yeah, just notice how vertical your back is. So you broke the knees, great. Like the knees went out right away, but you're still like straight up and down basically. So as the knees go forward and out, that has to come down. So we're in this back angle higher up. Set it right away. Lean over, knees out, same time. It's not knees forward and out and then lean over. And it's not lean over and then push your knees out. It's knees and hips together. So knees and lean over at the exact same time. And you need to lean over way more than that on the way down. So that's your main issue on the way down. And then watching that chin flick up again. Let's see this hip drive here. Okay, so these look better. These look a lot more stable than I remember you having them in the past. Like you feel like you've got more control of the bar and more stability, which is great. You look sturdier. All good. It's just technique stuff. So lean over more right away. Okay, faster. Set the back angle by the halfway point. Get the knees out. You're doing okay with the knees, but just lean over first. Think about lean over first. Point your nipples at the floor. Stamp your nipples on the concrete. And you have to push the knees out of the way to do that, right? And then you need to get a little bit deeper. So you got to drop your butt a little lower, a little bit more hip drive on the way up. Keep the chin tucked, eyes down, drive your butt up. And you want to hang on to that back angle all the way up. Okay, so when you finally get into that angle, see, it's heavy, so you had to do it there. This is the thing about hip drives. Everybody wants to criticize hip drive and you know, back angle, and then when it gets heavy and they get tired, they do it naturally. So that position, we want to keep that. That's pretty good. Let's watch the. Yeah, you're just kind of opening it up a little too soon on some of these reps. All right. Pause squats. That's what you're going to work on. So you've seen these before. HORNSTRENGTH.com/videos. Pause squats. You haven't posted in a while, so maybe you haven't been. But watch the pause squat video on YouTube and read the instructions down here on what to do. Okay? And I want you to do them every workout where you have squats. Just do them empty bar and like first set with weight, sets of 5, 3-second pause, balance, ask yourself the 3 questions right here and drill that so that you know what a stable bottom position feels like. And make sure that when you get to the bottom, you don't have to change anything. You don't have to make any tweaks. You don't have to lean over more because you already set your back angle early. So start drilling those. And then I probably assigned these to you before, but there's a video now. So start working on those and then throw up another video and let's clean this up a little bit. Overall, not bad, common problems, but we haven't seen you in a while and some things deteriorated despite looking significantly more jacked. So good job on that. That's really the most important part, right? Who cares about your squat? Anyway, brother, good to see you. Thank you for posting. Work on that stuff, get leaned over, do the pause squats, and then let's recalibrate here based on these notes, and we'll keep going. All right. Okay, we got two more. All right, two more. We can do this. I think this is a new guy. Form check on the squat. Yes, these are two sets 2 and 3 at 264 on the bar. First time submitting. Let me know if the angle of the video is correct. Is that all you want to know? The angle of the video? Okay. Oh, you linked to your, I've removed it, whatever. It's still here. Okay. Yeah, the angle of the video is fine. Good depth. All right. This is a high bar squat. So you got the same thing that a lot of the guys earlier in this form check video have going on. Your depth is fantastic. So that's really good. You're getting all the way down. But let's talk about your bar placement, because this is going to fix a lot of the problems. So that bar, let me see if I can get a better angle of it. The angle is not that good for evaluating your bar placement, but I can tell. So yeah, you've got the bar probably an inch, maybe 2 inches too high on your back. So you need to move it down a little bit lower. You can really see it there. This line isn't going to help you that much, but I want it. Oh yeah, that's a terrible line. You need to lower it a little bit. It needs to be across the posterior delt, like right below the spine of your scapula. So like down here, Jesus, I can't draw today. Lower than this. Okay. So if you go and look at, on hornstrength.com/videos, there's a video of, there's a thing on how to squat. And I'm not saying you don't know how to squat, but, both of these videos, will show you examples. These are both demo videos. This one's the starting strength one for explaining it, but they have pictures in there or scenes in there where it shows how low the bar needs to be. And so that'll give you a better idea. But all the things I'm going to correct with your squat are going to go away once you fix that. So that's really the main problem. Is your stance looks pretty good from what I can tell. Depth is, oh, there we go. We can kind of see. Yeah. See, the reason I know it's too high is because as you come up, you're going to dump it up on your neck. So you can see your elbows kind of, your upper back. This motion where your hips go back and your upper back rounds and you push the bar, you roll it up higher on your neck, that means it's too high. So here's the trick, right? If you take the bar out of the rack and you do your set of squats and the bar is exactly in the same place on your back as it was for set 1 and set 5, it was in the right place. If it rolls up your neck, you had it too high. And if it rolls down your neck, you had it too low. It's very common to put it too high. And then every rep, when you come up, you dump it a little bit higher. That upper back rounds. And what you're having a problem with here is upper back tightness, right? This right here is rounded. You're kind of hunched over it like this. And what we want is this. I want chest up, right? So when you get that bar, it's really hard to put your upper back in extension like this when the bar's on your neck pushing you down. And every time you go to push up out of the bottom of the squat, you're just going to dump it higher up on your neck. If you move it down lower on your back, you're going to be able to squeeze when you take that breath, and you're going to put that upper back in nice extension, right? Chest up, elbows up, chin tucked. And then you just hold it like this, right? And you lean over and you squat. And at the bottom of the rep, your back should still look like this. Even though you're leaned over, you're still going to have this upper back position, right? But what's going to happen with where you put the bar is you're going to go to the bottom. As soon as you start to squat, you're going to dump it. And then your upper back's soft, and then it's going to as you come up out of the bottom, you're gonna roll it up higher on your neck. It's all a bar placement issue. So you see how, if we watch your elbows on the transition, right? So see how they're down? And then as you come up, see how they go from here to here, right? And your head kicks back. Your head's kicking back because the bar's rolling over your neck and you're trying to stop it. Okay? So this is all hunched over now. Okay? And I want it to look like the opposite of that. Almost like you're setting your back in a deadlift. And you can't do that with the bar this high up on your neck. So you are going to have to lower the bar and then I don't know what this bouncing thing is, but it's making me a little nervous. But you've got the right idea here, which is right here. You see you're trying, right? You're trying to set your back right there. The problem is you can't hold that because as soon as you go down, it starts to flex because it's too high up on your back. So you really do have the right idea, and you're setting your upper back better than a lot of people. That's beautiful. Look at that. So you're here, right? You come up, and if we're watching right here, we're gonna see you take that breath, which is what I'm always telling people to do, and get that nice arch. Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. But you're gonna let it go as soon as you lean over. You're trying to fight it by kicking your head back, but you've already lost it. You see how you lost that? All those wrinkles are gone. And it's just gonna get worse from there, because as you push up, you're gonna go forward and you're gonna dump it higher on your neck, and then you're round, and then you're just trying to save it so it doesn't dump over your head. So really, this is a simple fix. Just put the bar lower on your back. That's it. If you move that thing down a couple inches, like 2 inches maybe, and you're gonna be able to do exactly what you're doing, which is get that beautiful extension, but you're gonna be able to hold it when you start squatting. So once you set it, then all you do is hinge over at the waist, but you don't let that go. So as soon as you start to squat, keep this up, right? Keep arching your back the whole time. You should be at the bottom of the rep, okay? If you went down to the bottom and paused, your upper back should be just as tight as it was when you set it at the top, when you did that thing that I was complimenting you on. So when you do, did I miss it? No, you're gonna do it. Or you're just tired. Yeah, you're getting a little, see that one, you're getting tired, so you're not doing it as well. You're not doing it as well as you did on that. Let's see if I can pause it. What happened to the good one? Let's see. Let's see if you do it on this one, because I want to show you what I want. Yeah, okay. See, so this upper back tightness right here, when you're at the bottom of the rep, your upper back should look like this. So if we go to the bottom of the rep, it's completely soft. You've lost all that extension. And then, like I said, as it goes higher, it's just getting worse. Okay, so like I just told the guy before you, if you go to hornstrength.com/videos and you go to the pause squat, where's that? Pause squat. And you watch this video of this drill, pause squats. The instructions are down here, right? What to do, how to do it, what questions to ask yourself. It's gonna be a very useful drill once you lower the bar to practice the bottom position and understand what it feels like to be leaned over in the bottom position, but with the upper back in the correct extended position that you set at the top of the rep before you started the descent. So I'm a huge fan of that exercise for learning how to set your back at the top and make sure that it's still set at the bottom, meaning extend it. So watch that video, practice that, incorporate it, move the bar down, and post another video next week, and we'll just see if magically everything went away. Okay? And apologies for deleting this. I thought you posted it twice. I didn't mean to like take your thing off the Reddit, but yeah. So thank you for posting, and good luck, and we will see you hopefully next week. Okay, finally, Dick, you got to get in earlier, man, because you're getting me at like when I'm brain dead for talking nonstop for an hour and 20 minutes. And then I'm like, okay, Dick's getting the worst of me. All right, failed my homework task. Honestly, attempting thumbs around was really painful. Did 2 workouts, spent 45 minutes in the second one fiddling around with the grip and positioning, but it was still excruciating. This is me doing 1 rep I could manage at 60. Oh, this is the wrong guy to end with, man, because I have no sympathy right now. So I switched back to thumbs over so I could do some weight. I was really trying hard here to keep my chest up and upper back extended to compensate for failing. All right. All right. Well, what did I say, Dick? 3 workouts. Obviously, you probably haven't had the 3rd workout yet, but you have to give it 3 workouts before you quit. And the idea is you're not going to quit on me. All right. It's excruciating. There are guys who squat like over 1,000 pounds, and none of them use the overhand grip or the thumbs on top grip. So I don't want to hear that 60 kilos was excruciating. Oh. I mean, you look miserable. You want that thing off your back so badly. Oh. Dude, look at you. It's not even in the right place. Okay, I'm a little delirious right now, but this is a fun one to end with. All right, you got it there. And you rolled it up on your back. And then you just you're like, I don't care about I mean, actually pretty good. But it's, 135. Okay, let's take a look at the other one. I think I need to just fly. You're in the UK. I think I need to fly there and just yell at you in person. We'd fix this in 20 seconds. Every form check today has been back extension. Oh, good. Okay. Oh. See, I got it. And I'm so glad that this whole episode is people who can't keep their upper back tight. Every person has had the same issue. But look, and it was thank God for the first guy for reminding me of this. But you have the same issue as everybody. Look at that right there. So I want you to watch this guy, this wrist right here. I mean, this is probably what I told you last time. But look at how it's going from when your back is nice and extended there. Look at your wrists. They're bent back like this, right? That's a little straighter, so you're tightening it up. Are you gonna arch for me? Yep. Okay, look at that arch. Flat wrists. This one's a little bit back. And then look, just watch your thumbs. Just boop. Dump it up, and then your upper back goes soft, and now they come back. So the plates roll forward, and as you come up, they roll back. And each rep, you're dumping it up on your back. And so I'm trying to treat the symptom here, which is, it's not, you can squat perfectly well and keep your chest up with straight wrists and thumbs on top like this. People do it all the time. But so that's not the cause. This is the result, the side effect of the relaxing of the upper back, lifting the elbows, and having the bar roll up, is that we see the wrist do this. So I'm trying to treat the symptom here, which is if we stop that from happening, if you do what you have to do to stop this from happening on the way down and on the way up, if you do whatever it takes to not have that happen, you'll fix the form, right? Now, when you have a barbell in your hand and a bent wrist and your thumbs around, and that weight keeps you from doing that. It prevents you from doing that because it's literally pinning your wrist back. But it's uncomfortable. See, look at that. They're already dumped up here like this. This is, right? The bar's higher than it needs to be. Your upper back's soft. I'm not giving up on you, man. Now, yeah, that's all you. All right. So here's your homework, right? Okay. First of all, keep practicing the thumbs around grip. Don't be a wuss. Like, I know it hurts. You'll get used to it. Just come on. Like, that's my first argument. Just like, dude, sack up. Now, if for some reason, like, you have some bony growth or something and it's just like, it's impossible. You've tried it for a month and you cannot get used to it. You can do this. Like, you can squat with this grip, but you cannot let your wrist do that on the way down. That's not allowed anymore. So you got to take the grip that allows, you know, the weight to sit back here and not do that. You need to learn how to control this chest up, elbows up position and lean over without losing that. And that's the cause of it. It's not the wrist that's the cause of it. Like I said, that's the result, or that's the little the symptom. Okay, so if you can do this, and again, the pause squats are where but you're already going to be hunched over by the time, because if you watch this hand on the way down, by the time you go down to do a pause squat, you're already here. So you're going to, if I just had you pause right here, you're thinking that you're going to be arching up, you know, like and fixing it, but you're never going to go back to this, right? So now let me see if I can offer any, oh boy, what did I do? Oh, this is not what I want. Look, there's me. Okay. Dick. All right. Let me see if I can go back and see if there's anything that stands out with and offer some helpful tips here. So, okay. There you go. Okay. You got the right idea, which is like, you don't have to hold it down here. Okay. You don't have to like grip, like really have your whole hand just like securely gripping the barbell. So when I go under, first of all, start wide. The wider you bring your hands out, the less stress you're going to have on your shoulders, right? So I always start with like my hands almost touching the rack. And then you get under the bar. And again, like get under the bar like you're going to, like once you take it out, that's, yeah, okay. And then usually as I go under, I'll set my hands where I want them widthwise. And then as I go under, I just relax my grip and I let the bar move up more towards my fingers here, right? So that I can get under it and get in position. And as long as I've got my hand on the bar, especially with 135, right? Then I can play around like it. You have to stretch everything out to get used to it. So the first couple sets, warm-ups, like it's not comfortable. So I just let the bar kind of go where it wants to, as long as it's in my fingertips at least. And then I can play around with the position of like pulling my shoulders in, shrugging, making sure that the weight is sitting where I want to sit. But the pressure is just I'm just kind of keeping it there. And I'll start wide, I'll be out here. And then every couple warm-up sets, I'll try and come in a little closer and a little closer. And again, set your grip. And then as you go under, relax it and just let it, almost like you're trying to rack a power clean, right? Power clean lands on your shoulders. So it just has to go to your fingertips. The mistake people make is they try and catch it down here in their hand, right? Like this. And then it's going to pull your wrist back. It hurts like hell. So when they realize that rather than this, they can be here with just their fingertips on the bar, that bar's not going anywhere, right? Because really you're racking the clean here on your shoulders. That's what's holding it up. The fingers are just like a little extra support. Same concept here. You just gotta have your hand on the bar, But what's going to keep it in place really is like your back is supporting it, and the hand and wrist and elbow, or the pressure is just going to try and keep it in place. So widen your grip a little bit and let it move, let the bar move closer to kind of where your fingers meet your palm over these calluses. And then as you do your third one, your third try, like I said, you'll find the position. You'll find, like, when you're under there, think about what hurts and play around with moving it till it doesn't. But with time, I promise you, it will get better. And this will allow you to have a better upper back position. If you're not going to stick with it, if you're going to bail on me, that's okay. I still love you. But you've got to fix this problem. Okay. So you've got to be down at the bottom of the squat with chest up, elbows more down, and wrists slightly bent back. Okay. Like very, very slightly. If you can fix that without taking the thumbs around grip, that's fine. But I think it's going to be a lot easier for you to fix it, because that's what's happening. This literally, if you watch this whole episode, which is now an hour and 30 minutes, I think 90% of the people had the same issue, which is this upper back rounding. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I just want to watch your normal squat. It's not bad. You're getting out of your hips a little early, just opening up your chest again. Like, just because, Dick, look why you lift your chest. Ready? See the bar? See you dump it up, and then you feel it rolling up. You feel it rolling up on your neck, and then you're just like, shit, I got to save it. So I'm just going to open up my hips. And then you get out of your hips too soon, and you kill your hip drive. This is all from this. It's all from this, right? It's all from this. So if we fix that, we fix everything. Everything. This is why this is so important. That's why you have to keep trying the thumbs around grip, because it will fix everything. I'm exaggerating. We're going to find some other stuff once we get 405 on there. Anyway, man, that's my argument. Thank you for posting. And go work on it. Give me one more try before you bail, and then decide what you want to do, and we'll keep going. But that's it. So the next video I see from you, it cannot have this in it. If it has this in it, don't post it. Fix that and then post it. Okay? Because that's the problem. So unless you're like, hey, how do I fix it? All right. I'm done. This is a record, an hour and 34 minutes. Delirious. Okay. Thank you guys again for being a part of this thing. And we'll do this all again next week. I hope this was useful. I'm like so tired right now. All right. You guys have a good week, and I'll see you guys on Reddit. And for the fat loss guys, I'll see you Monday for your check-in see how much weight you lost. And we'll keep going from there. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.